Alright, what's up you guys? So tonight it is roughly about 10 p.m. right now, and I'm actually going to be wrapping my truck tonight. So what I wanted to do was that I was not able to find very many videos. I only found one video on YouTube that was going over a truck wrap, and more specifically a Ram 3500 truck wrap. So wanted to go ahead and do a how-to video on how to do one of these. I've done a lot of research in it. This is going to be my first one. I definitely want to make that very clear. This is going to be my first one, but I'm really excited for it because I've done a lot of research for this. I feel like I've overly prepared myself for it. But being that I did not find any of them, any other how-to videos on how to do this truck, I wanted to see about being the first one. So we'll see how it all goes. Hopefully it's gonna go good. Wish me luck.
So this is the clay bar that's going to be used to take off a lot of the debris, and then there's the lubrication that follows. This is from the Chemical Brothers off of Amazon. The link will be in the description for all of you to be able to purchase if you would like. Basically what this combo does is the clay bar takes a lot of the debris off of the surface of the vehicle. So when you lay your wrap down, there's no bumps or anything of that nature, so it's very clean. And then there is your lubrication spray bottle that actually gives a little bit more lubrication between the actual clay bar and the surface. So there's no more sticking, there's none of that at all. It literally glides like very, very easily and allows for a lot of that debris that you can actually see gets taken off. It gets put into the clay bar, and like a almost like a pillow or a marshmallow or something. Pretty cool.
Right. So kind of messed up. Was going to go ahead and do this door, but I just realized I don't have the lines to the fishing lines to be able to take all of this off. So just gonna go ahead and start on the back, the side of the bed first. Basically attack both of those sides. Basically what I'm going to do is attack anything that does not have a badging on it. So I'll have to do that tomorrow. So get a lot of stuff done tonight, but still be able to get that done though, for sure. Hell yeah. So I wanted to show y'all what I got for this project. So you can actually get this entire set. It comes with everything you need. Well, not this. This is double-sided tape for the badges on the truck. But what I bought came with my heat gun, which is right there. And then all of this, literally, you have all of your squeegees. This has your soft tip on it. This has your slicer. It comes with magnets. All of these things, your glove as well to be able to put it on while the heat is going. All these attachments too. So I was able to get all of this for $56, including the heat gun too. So it's really, really good. I've done this pretty cheaply. I got a 5 by 15 roll, 5 foot by 15 foot roll, and that was that ran me about 383. I'm sorry, for my truck. And then so for everything came out to about 450. So plus my time to be able to do it, which you got to definitely take into account for if you're going to be running a business out of this. So but yeah, I've already gone ahead and prepped this side that you can see back here. And next thing to do is go ahead and put the good old wrap on there. So it's gonna be fun. Let's see how this goes.
So what I'm doing here is being able to put on my glove, which honestly I don't recommend putting on the glove while you're applying the wrap to the actual truck itself or the vehicle in general. You just saw the anchors be put onto the bedside. Those are very, very, very like one of your best friends basically in this entire process. That will allow for the wrapping to be anchored to the truck, so you can actually line the entire vinyl to the side of the vehicle, whatever vehicle it may be. It allows to be of a major help, as you can see what I'm doing here, just rolling it out, getting the correct measurement, what I'm going to need for my material, and you have the other anchor that's going to be stuck onto there as well. So now that'll give me a really concrete hold, if you will, to be able to do my cut for the wrap and get a correct dimension. But one thing to really be able to take into consideration when doing this, everyone, is when you are doing the clay bar, make sure that you go around and over the entire surface. The clay bar is meant to take in a whole bunch of debris, so it will get flat on you. So do not get alarmed with that. Don't get worried about that at all. It is what is going to happen. So just expect for that to be the case. It's gonna feel like you're gonna go through just a whole bunch of clay, but you're not. 1 or 2 bars, what it comes with can do the entire truck. Now when going through all of this part right here that I'm taking the Teflon off of the back, the wrapping paper off of the back of the paper, I'm really trying to make sure that I get a correct measurement around the wheel and get the anchored part of that wrapping to stay there. Obviously I have my anchors, but in my eyes, you just can never have too much support. But I want to make sure that I get the excess wrapping paper off of the truck before I start the application process. In doing this, you can actually save yourself a lot of material to be able to wrap other accent parts on your vehicle instead of undoing the paper like I'm doing right here and really wasting a whole bunch of material, because obviously this material you're paying money for, so you want to be able to make it last a bit, especially if you're wanting to make sure that all your colors are matching. Obviously right here I'm wanting to make sure that the wrapping paper is out of my way, so to create minimum or really minimal mess, I like to either roll it up or fold it up, if you will, and that's pretty much how this entire thing goes. Now, one thing to really take into consideration here, everyone, is going through this part. This was around like 55 or 60 something degree weather at nighttime, and I've seen so many videos through all my research, and it always says do not, and I repeat, do not do it in this cold of weather. You can see a lot of wrinkling here. You can see a whole bunch of these things in this video, and really learn from this video, if anything else, because of what not to do. And do not, really don't even apply it like this, how I'm doing it right here. It's supposed to be more tighter. It's supposed to be glass is what the correct term is for this, to where it's very flat. You have your accent line that you can see just where my left elbow is right there on the side of my bed. That's where the glass, quote unquote, the flat part, to where it's very flat, and you get a whole bunch of the air channeling marks out of there. Again, this is my first time doing this. I did educate myself a lot into this entire process, but it was one of those things that I got really impatient with, I got really excited with, and I really wanted to be able to do this as soon as I got the wrapping paper that day. So here in California in the daytime, it's roughly about 70 or 80 degrees, very chill though, and at nighttime it does drop down. So Obviously, I'm having to use my heat gun here and try to get it to where it relaxes a lot, which is another term that is used in this field. Relaxing is whenever your wrap is really able to just sit there with no wrinkles and not overstretch. That is another very big deal to understand. Do not overstretch your material, because if you do that, you'll actually have a lot of distortion and you'll have a lot of stretch marks. So once summertime comes, to my knowledge, it will actually shrink it up, as that's just not something that you want to do by any means. This corner that I just did was very, very difficult because it was in cold weather and the material was not the way that it was supposed to be. Whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure, once again, that your temperature is correct. A lot of these things, even in other industries that you do, like growing plants and stuff, temperature is a very volatile part of this entire process. And you can see towards the right side of me, there's a big ass line towards the end of the bed. That was literally because of the cold, and literally, this whole process is really difficult, especially whenever you're doing it in the nighttime and it's chilly outside. Again, I do not recommend doing it whenever it's this cold. But again, I got really impatient. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to stop, and I didn't want to take my time for the next day, which I should have done. I should have just let it go for the next day and came at it and started applying everything at that time. So if anything, learn from this video of what not to do. I did waste my material, which was totally fine with me because this is my first time, and at least I can say that I did it. But I do recommend doing it in wherever it's heated up outside. If you have a truck as big as mine, if you can fit it in your garage, great, do it. But if you can't, then just wait till it gets a little bit warmer, or see if you can really lower it and fit it in somewhere to where there's a heater going on. And another thing that I had not taken into consideration whenever it was this temperature is preheating your paint. So preheating the body of the vehicle, that will actually give a lot more, to my knowledge, it'll give a lot more of the, basically make up for you doing this whole process in the cold. So it's a really cool thing overall. Another tip through this process, everyone, whenever you're doing this, make sure you use some masking tape around your lights, around anything that you're going to cut, so you don't actually cut into the plastics of your lights or even scratch the hell out of your paint. You definitely don't want to do that. What I'm doing right now, I'm really trying to take off a lot of the excess, because the excess was giving me a whole bunch of trouble. But again, I cannot reinstate this even more than I already have. Literally, the cold is not something that you want to work with. If you do this in the cold, make sure you have somebody helping you with this and preheating things, because it will make for this job to go very smooth and very... The part that I was working on just now on the bedside corner, my wife actually came out the next morning and told me that part just made so much of the truck look like shit. I definitely agreed with her, but even more than that, what happened is that whenever I finished this truck wrap, I thought that the color was going to be looking really cool. The color did not come out to be exactly like I wanted it to be, and I wasn't able to see it live time. Like, obviously I'm doing this wrap, but I wasn't able to see it as though you guys see it through the camera lens, which this camera lens on YouTube right now, this is something that I was not looking for. I was not looking for this color whatsoever. I thought it was going to be more of a flipping color, if you will, because that's exactly what it was saying that it was going to do, that it would flip from red to gold. And I was expecting for that to be the case and having more flipping of the color rather than this rustic color. I actually like my factory color more than this wrap color. So again, make sure that you look and research into the color that you're buying, so you don't waste your money and go through what I went through. Again, this is a very big learning curve for all of you. I actually got less material than I was supposed to get To my knowledge, I was actually supposed to get about 45 feet worth of material, but I only got 15 feet worth. So no matter what, I would have been short on this project for myself. But there's a whole bunch of lines that I didn't get correct, and this part there's a part here that I'm working on later on that I actually got. It was a bit troublesome for me, but I think I got it pretty well overall. All right, what's up everybody? So, let's see here, let me go outside, get some probably better lighting out here for sure. So I wanted to go over a deal that, obviously the truck wrap. So I was doing the truck wrap, and I ended up taking it all off. All the work that you just saw, I literally took it all off. Reason why is because, you know, for me, I did not like the way that the color turned out. The color was just kind of just like one of those things that I did not do much research with. I thought I did, and I thought I was going to like it, but I saw it on the truck and it just did not look the way that I was specifically wanting it to look. So what I did, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and look at getting a different wrap to go on the truck. I still do want to wrap the truck, but I think I'm just going to get a different type of color. That one was just too dark, and even in the sunlight it wasn't coming out right at all. I did have a little bit of a fuck up on some of them, but at the same time, you know, it was my first wrap, my first time doing it, so I definitely and also the temperature was and it was pretty low that night. It was like, I think it was like 60, maybe 50 degrees, and you're supposed to be in like 70 or higher, just because the elasticity of the material is much better at that point in time. So but yeah, I did take it all off just because I did not like the way that it really came out. So I am going to be going ahead and redoing another wrap color. But yeah, that one, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'm going to return it, or if I'm going to, or I don't really know what the hell I'm going to do with it. Maybe put it on something else, but fact is, I just don't like the color. I didn't like how it looked in person, so I might just go ahead and return it. So that's probably what's going to happen on that one. But yeah, so that's the truck wrap. But the reason why I wanted to do the video on the truck wrap is because I did not see very many of trucks, even 2013s, I guess you would call it the fourth generation. I did not see very many of those trucks being wrapped. So I wanted to be able to make a video and showcase exactly how that would be done. And I hope y'all like the video and everything. I will be having some more podcast episodes coming out very shortly. But other than that, yeah, like the video if you liked what you saw. And yeah, see y'all in the next video.